Hey guys, happy Saturday. My phone is bouncing around. Blah, blah, blah. Ooh, see the lights flicker? We are expecting an epic windstorm here on the west coast of Canada and down into the States, like Seattle area. So if the lights flicker, that's why, because it's starting to get windy outside. If you've never met me before, hello, my name is Lisa Carpenter. I'm a transformational life and nutrition coach. And today I'm going to be talking about, is it really about the money? Is it about the food? Is it about the clutter? Now, if you've never met me, it's almost creepy. I also co-host a podcast called All the Stuff. And this is part of what we get into, is recognizing that it's never really about the food, the money, or the clutter. Hey, Maria, nice to see you. Yay, you caught me live. And I'm talking about one of your favorite subjects, which is money today. So today is the last day that you can register for my signature weight loss and nutrition program, E.A.T, which stands for Education, Action, Transformation. And it's all about helping women put their hands back on the wheel of their lives and take responsibility for the type of foods they're putting in their body so they can create the results they want. However, it's never really just about the food. There's always so much more than that, which is why I dig a lot into mindset. And if you go back and watch some of the replays of my live streams, you'll find I talk a lot about how you think and feel about yourself really impacts what's going on for you. So I decided to talk about money today because one of the biggest objections I get about hopping into my program is the investment. A lot of women will come back to me and say, but Lisa, it's so much money. And I can tell you that it is never really about the money. It's the hesitation in the women who are considering my program actually investing in themselves and what they've attached to that dollar figure. So any woman who's ever hopped in my program will tell you that it's worth it beyond the price because of the ongoing community support. It's not done after 6 weeks. You get lifetime access, and I'm consistently in the Facebook group really giving support and guidance. So you're never really left on your own. And you're never going to have to spend another penny again trying to figure out what to eat, how to put everything together. You're going to be taken care of. But that initial spending that money to get in the door can be really challenging for women. And a lot of it has to do with, again, the relationship that you're having with your money. So this is an interesting topic for me to chat about because for years, I didn't understand that I was struggling with my relationship with money. So I always made a good living, but the money would come in and it would immediately go back out again. It didn't matter what budget I tried. I never seemed to be able to get ahead. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Kind of like dieting, right? You try and go on a diet, excuse me, you lose a little bit of weight, and then you put it back on again. Okay, I would try and pay down my debt, and then I would borrow from Peter to pay Paul, and guess what? There was my debt again, right? Or I get it paid off, and then I just rack it back up again. So same. So the first thing that really happened for me is I read this book. I'm going to show you this book. Can you guys see that? It's called Money, A Love Story by Kate Northrup. And this book knocked my socks off because I read it and thought, wow, this is what I teach inside my E.A.T program, but this is about money and I'm teaching about food. And it really kind of knocked me on my butt because I thought, well, how can I go in and talk to women and, encourage them that it is possible for them to lose weight and keep it off. Yet here I am really kind of doing this when it came to my relationship with money. And I started to see how the two were connected because a lot of the women, like I said, in my program were also struggling with their finances and juggling everything. There never seemed to be enough money and it was really hard for them to spend that money on themselves. So that kind of started, it's been over now a 2-year process of me changing my relationship with money. So just like I educate the women that I work with that food is neutral, it's neither good or bad, money is neutral. It's neither good or bad. It's just an energetic exchange. And when we attach so much meaning to it and value to it, that's when we get into a problem, right? Like, oh my God, if I invest in this program and it's so much money, and then what if? it's just money. Just kind of like if you eat a donut, nothing bad happens. You get to have a better meal or a more healthy meal the next time. You're not going to ruin anything. So I had to step back and really look at my spending habits. And again, this is something that I continue to dive into. So how have I changed my relationship with money? And I still have a long way to go, but I no longer, not open my bills, because, that's not really an effective debt repayment strategy, not paying my bills or paying them late, or just kind of being irresponsible when it came to my money, right? Like I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to look at it, but it was really the thing that was impacting my growth as a business person. You cannot be a successful business unless you're willing to receive money. It's kind of part of what business is about. And I had a real problem receiving, not just money, receiving compliments, receiving praise, right? Receiving high fives. Now I'm much better at that. And it's something that I teach the women that I work with as well, because being able to receive is an important part of creating success for yourself, whether in weight loss, business, life, it doesn't really matter. So that was the first thing. I started to read books. So that was the first book I read, Money, a Love Story by Kate Northrup. And then I started to dive into even more, because here's the thing. If you are committed to making a change in your life, whether it's losing weight, changing your relationship with money, it means that every single day, you need to engage in an activity that supports that change of behavior, whether it's just reading a book, reading a label, whatever you put in your mouth, how you pay your bills, it doesn't matter. But every single day you have to stay engaged in it, because of course that's not my default behavior to be responsible with money. It's not. So food, I can completely be unconscious about, because I always make the best choices for me. That's my default behavior. For the women that I'm working with inside my E.A.T program, their default behavior isn't to reach for the vegetables. It's to hit the McDonald's drive-thru. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's reprogramming and retraining those patterns so that you can create the success that you want for yourself. And it's uncomfortable and it takes time. I think that is one of the hardest things for people to understand, is that whether it's weight loss, paying down your debt, decluttering your house, it doesn't matter. It takes time, consistency, and a commitment to really knowing what you want and why you want it. And I've talked about this in previous live streams, so please make sure to go back and watch them. You can head over to my website, lisacarpenter.ca. They're all listed there on my blog under thoughts. So go ahead and binge watch and you can catch up. But I wanted to give you some names of some other books that I've read as well, because I think this is such an important topic. Now, I'm no money expert. Like I said, I'm still in the trenches learning, and I'm still continuing to read books and change my patterns. So one of the next ones that I read was Overcoming Under-Earning by Barbara Stanny. She's fantastic. She's fantastic. And she's got quite a few books. Prince Charming Isn't Coming, along with one that I really, really loved, which is Sacred Success. And again, she recognizes that you can have all the systems and strategies in the world when it comes to money, but if you don't change your mindset, if you don't change your relationship around money, nothing changes. So again, relating it back to the program that I teach, you can have all the systems around food you want. You can learn all the ins and outs, but if you're not prepared to show up and change your mindset, if you're not prepared to change how you're thinking and feeling about your body and how you're thinking and feeling about your relationship with food, you're not going to get very far, and you're not going to have lasting, sustainable results. And that's what I'm after with the women that I'm working with. I don't want you to just come in for 6 weeks. That's not what the program is about. Yes, it runs over 6 weeks, but it's for life. It's knowing that you're going to stay connected to this group for life, so you can continue to make progress and you can continue to make change and you can talk about this stuff. The other books that I dove into were The Law of Divine Compensation by Marianne Williamson. That was actually an audiobook that I listened to, and she's got a lovely voice. And I love audiobooks because, again, I can put on an audiobook when I'm prepping my food and when I'm getting stuff done around the house. So it's a great use of my time. The other two that I'm going to talk about, and one was just sent to me, which I love, and it was kind of a hard pill to swallow, but this one is called How to Get Out of Debt, Stay Out of Debt, and Live Prosperously, and it is based on the principles of Debtors Anonymous. Now, anybody who's been hanging out with me for a while knows that I have a very deep connection with the recovery community and recovery principles. My husband's in recovery, and it really impacted my life and my business, because in essence, what I teach inside E.A.T is a recovery plan for people who are struggling with their relationship with food, right? We're talking about sometimes food addiction. It's a big deal. So having a system and a structure helps people feel safe, helps people feel in control. So I am a big believer in the variations and modifications around kind of 12-step programs and kind of what they teach within there. So this particular book, what I realized is that I'm a debtor. I'm a debtor. So some of you are overeaters. I'm a debtor. I spend without thinking. So I left home shortly after I graduated, and I had a job and stuff, but the bank gave me a credit card, and that was the beginning of my love affair, because I always had money because I had my credit card. So my credit card became my wingman. It was always there for me. If I needed something, I always had my credit card. You see how this relates to food, right? When you're having a crappy day, food's always there to support you. So this was how my relationship with my credit card grew and how my debt grew. So what I've had to step into and own is the fact that I'm a debtor, which means that I have to change my relationship with my credit cards. I have to change my relationship with debt. So right now I'm committed to not accruing any more debt. So it's really no different than my clients coming to me and saying, okay, I'm making a commitment that there's certain foods I can't eat because those foods are trigger foods for me. So trigger foods are foods that you have one bite and you need another 500 bites, right? You have one cookie and you actually need 20s. You'll eat 20, right? So the saying is one's too many and 100 is never enough. The same is true for debting. If you're a chronic debtor, it's just a pattern. It's like breathing. You don't even realize it. You'll just debt. So my commitment to myself is that I'm no longer going to debt. So I can't put anything on a credit card. If I do, I have to immediately pay that amount onto my credit card. Like I have to pay it. So if I put $20 on my credit card, because I do a lot of stuff online because my business is online, it means that I immediately have to pay that $20 back to my credit card right then. There's no waiting on it. And that's been a huge shift for me, just owning that. So it's not like I've had a friend say to me, well, that's kind of a negative label. Why would you own that? It actually is incredibly empowering for me because it helps me take responsibility for what I need to change in my life to have the things I want. I don't want to carry a ton of debt, right? Do you want to carry around an extra 100 pounds? No. Why? Because it limits the things that you can do in your life. Not necessarily meaning you can't do them, right? So for instance, if I wanted to travel, I could travel. I could take my debt with me and I could travel and I could rack up more debt. If you wanted to go kayaking, you could go kayaking with an extra 100 pounds on you. Would it be as comfortable for you if you were a little bit of a lighter weight? Right? You get what I'm saying? So there's no right or wrong here. It's not that you can or can't. It doesn't matter what weight or size you are. You can do whatever you want. But we limit ourselves up here. I limit myself up here because of the debt I'm carrying. So my why is because when that debt is paid off, that's going to open up a whole ton of freedom in my life that I really, really want. I want to be able to travel with my family. I've set up my business so I can work anywhere in the world, yet I hardly leave my house, people. Okay, so this is what it's all about. And this is part of why I'm so passionate about what I teach inside my E.A.T classroom. I don't hold anything back. My clients get to see all of me. They get to see my struggles and what I bring to the table. And that's what makes me an effective teacher, because I don't stand up on a pedestal and wave my finger at people and say, you need to do X, Y, and Z. I'm in the trenches with the women that I'm working with, working on my own stuff. And that's what makes it incredibly real. And that's why it's so healing. There's no judgment. There's no judgment for anybody. Okay? So, all right, so the last book that I wanted to tell you about was, it's called Get Rich, Lucky Bitch. And this book actually goes with a program by Denise Dunfield Thomas. And that was the first program that I purchased, very similar to E.A.T, but it actually focuses on your relationship with money and changing your relationship with money. And again, that was incredibly powerful for me. So I have been working on my relationship with my finances for over 2 years now. I've obviously come a very, very long way, which is pretty awesome. The fact that money is pretty neutral for me. I don't get charged about it. I used to get hyper anxious about money when any bill was due or anything was coming up. Now my finances are organized, things get paid on time, things are automatic. I actually feel confident about how I handle money. I'm still learning and growing. There's still lots I need to know. I'm on the road to consistent debt repayment, which is huge. So it's baby steps. And again, I have to remember the same things that I tell my clients, right? If you've got, it doesn't matter if you've got 20 pounds to lose or 300 pounds to lose, 300 would be a lot. What gets us into trouble is when we look up and we're like, oh my God, I still have so far to go, right? Like I've been paying my debt for however many months, and I look up and I'm like, oh my God, I still have so many more months. It's going to take forever. But as long as I keep going, as long as I stay the course, I will get there. And you will get there as well with your relationship with food, providing you stay the course, that you take responsibility for what it is you need to learn. Become empowered. Stop being a victim in your own life. Stop being a victim in your relationship with food and your body. It's not the truth. You can take control of what's going on for you, but it means you have to commit to change. It means you have to start doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do. It may mean that you need to make an investment in yourself and you need to take a chance on yourself so that you can learn what it is you need to learn. In order for me to learn how to change my relationship with money, I had to invest in programs and in books and in coaches that helped me change how I was thinking and feeling about my finances and the limiting beliefs that I had around them. It's been a big deal, and every dollar I've spent has been so worth it because I am so much further ahead and I really feel confident about the direction I'm going. And it seems like such an odd topic for me to dive into on the final day that my classroom is open for registration before I start the next live round of coaching calls. But I thought it was so appropriate because this, like more than anything, like I said, the objection that I get from the women who are considering buying my program is, how can I spend this money? How can I spend this money? So I want to challenge you. How much money have you spent on things that you didn't need, you didn't really want, and aren't going to improve your life? How often do you spend money on other people and other things, and you can always justify it? But when it comes to spending money on you, do you look at it as being a luxury or wasteful, or feel like you're taking it away from somebody else? Like if I spend this money on myself, I'm taking away from them. When we take care of ourselves, when we take care of our finances, when we take care of our relationship with food, when we take just good care of ourselves, we show up so much bigger in our own lives. And what does that mean? It means we're more grounded. It means that our relationships are healthier. We're better parents. We're better friends. We're better spouses. We're better human beings when we take care of ourselves and stop martyring ourselves. So invest in yourself if there's something that you want to do. So I have done my best to price E.A.T at a level that it's affordable for everybody to get in. It's a 6-week program. The payment plan goes over 10 months. Okay, so your payments span 10 months, even though it's only a 6-week program. Okay, and it's $97 a month, or you can pay in full. It's $897, and you can check out all the details over on my website, lisacarpenter.ca/EAT, E.A.T, to find out all the details. Like I said, the live coaching calls, so over the next six weeks, starting on Tuesday, I'm going to be hosting live calls to complement the information that you're going to find inside the virtual classroom that you'll have access to for life. So anytime you feel like you need a refresher, or you need to go back and review something, or you feel like you're losing your way a little bit, you can dive back into the course material. It'll still be waiting for you, just like some of these books are so dog-eared because I keep going back into them and going, okay, I need to learn this again. On top of all of that, I teach live twice a year, usually in the spring and in the fall. Once you're inside the program, you can come in and be part of those live calls anytime you want. So I've got people coming back for the 3rd and 4th time around. They're already in the classroom, so why wouldn't they show up to the calls again? Because they'll learn something new. And with every live round of coaching calls I do with new people in the room, there's new questions, there's new insights, there's new inspiration. And of course, because I am such a storyteller when I coach, there's new things going on in my world, and I've evolved as a coach. So I'm bringing new things to the table as well. So it's pretty phenomenal. So tonight at midnight, the doors close. So if you want to grab your seat, make sure you head over lisacarpenter.ca/EAT. You'll also be getting access to my other program called Feelings and Food. And Feelings and Food dives deeper into your relationship with food and your body. So not only do you get E.A.T, but you also get my Feelings and Food program, which is $197 value. And there's still bonuses left, which includes a coaching session with Carrie Ann Livingstone, who is my life coach, and she is a kick-ass coach, along with Lisa Sharp, who is my co-host on the All the Stuff podcast, and she's going to help you dive into your relationship with your clutter, help you get decluttered, and find how much peace and ease that brings into your life. So there's some pretty phenomenal bonuses. I think the bonuses are valued at more than the actual courses put together, which is pretty phenomenal. So I don't know if they're going to be around here in the spring. I don't know what I'm going to be offering for bonuses in the spring. And I don't even know when I'm going to be opening up the doors again in 2017, to be honest, because we're doing some revamping behind the scenes. So don't wait. This is your opportunity to make a change, to go into 2017 with a completely different mindset about food in your body. You can walk by the diet books and magazines and just kind of go like, not this year, not this year, not ever again. Not ever again will you have to spend another penny on finding your way and making peace with food in your body, losing the weight, feeling amazing, and being surrounded all the time in our private Facebook group with women who get you and are ready to support you. So I'd love to have you join us. If this live stream was helpful for you in regards to, the books that I'm reading, the resources that I pointed you to, and I'm happy to throw them in the comments for you later on so you can check them out. By all means, share it. Sharing is caring. That's how my work gets out into the world. Thank you so much for hanging out live here with me. I'm glad that the power didn't go out. I still have lights. And I'm going to head out now and enjoy some time with some friends. I've got a birthday coming up at the end of October, and there's a bunch of us celebrating birthdays tonight, so I'm really looking forward to that. If you need additional help, if you're interested in working with me one-to-one, of course, that's always a possibility as well, and you can just send me a PM here on Facebook, and I will make sure that we connect and we can just go from there. All right? So have a fantastic Saturday, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you all tomorrow. And hopefully I will see some of you in my classroom later on tonight. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and ask, and I'm more than happy to answer them. So again, lisacarpenter.ca/eat. Get into the classroom, change your life. Let's make 2017 completely different for you. I know you can do this. I know you can do this because I've seen hundreds of women before you make amazing transformations. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome in there. So I'm going to head off now, or I'll just keep rambling on. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.